I'm Lara Kılıçarslan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. That's Israel's National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir handing out sweets while celebrating a new law that proposes executing Palestinian detainees. Israel's parliament, the Knesset, has just approved the first of 3 readings of the draft bill. If it passes, judges can impose the death penalty on Palestinians convicted of killing Israelis on nationalistic grounds. Critics say the law is one-sided and does not apply to Israelis who kill Palestinians. Ben-Gvir posted this video of himself standing over Palestinian detainees in an Israeli prison. While Hamas held Israeli hostages in Gaza, security officials had opposed the far-right leader's plans to execute Palestinian detainees. But following the release of Israeli captives, support for his brutal law is growing, and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is backing it.
Do you think any of these Palestinians are going to get a fair trial? Also, once they are sentenced, the decision cannot be reversed. And this really isn't anything new. Prior to October 7th of 2023, lawmakers had voted on this bill 55-9 in support. After October 7th, they had some security issues because now there were hostages in the Gaza. And the Israelis are saying the quiet part out loud that now that they have their hostages back, the opposition is no longer relevant. This is how many Palestinians are in administrative detention, about 3,300. And this has grown exponentially even prior to October 7th of 2023. Starting in 2022, that's when this number really started to shoot up. It doubled from the previous year. Now, this law will not apply to settlers that are responsible for any Palestinian deaths in the West Bank. This only applies to Palestinians. This is neither moral, nor fair, nor democratic. This is exactly what we mean by this is an apartheid illegal settler state.
It is already documented how Israeli law enforcement abuse and exploit the power and authority that they have over the Palestinian population. We already see how the court systems are so discriminatory towards Palestinians, where if a Palestinian and an Israeli person were taken to court for the same reason, the Palestinian would get a much longer sentence. Even Israelis who have killed Palestinians and went through court, many of them just walk out. Some that are punished with very short sentences or just like house arrest. The Israeli justice system does not value Palestinian and Israeli lives equally, and this could not be more clear, and something like this is going to be used as a tool for more violence and absolute oppression.
Israeli lawmakers didn't stop there. 2 more highly controversial bills have been introduced. One would allow the government to shut down foreign media outlets whenever it chooses. The other would permit authorities to arrest Palestinian citizens of Israel over social media posts considered provocative.
The expanded Al Jazeera law, which gives the government power to shut down foreign media outlets without court approval, even during peacetime. It passed its first reading by roughly 50 to 41. The bill follows the April 2024 closure of Al Jazeera's bureau in Israel. The third bill allows police to arrest Palestinian citizens of Israel for alleged online incitement without judicial oversight. Right groups warn it criminalizes speech and targets a community that makes up to 20% of Israel's population. Together, the bills reinforce a dual legal system, civilian law for Jewish Israelis and military-style control over Palestinians. More than 11,000 Palestinians are currently detained in Israeli prisons, many without charges or trial, according to the Palestinian News and Information Agency.
A woman in the US is going viral for putting compassion to the test. In a long-running TikTok series, Nikayla Monroe called more than 30 places of worship, pretending to be a mom struggling to find baby formula. When a mosque was the first to offer help, the clips blew up online, sparking debate about care and community support.
So I'm calling your church to test to see if they would help feed a starving babe.
She's doing this whole social experiment, but the people on the other end of the line, they don't know it's not real. And she has been calling Christian churches and being like, I have a baby. She doesn't have a baby. And she has a sound of a baby crying in the background. I think she's called like 26 Christian churches.
Hello?
Hi, I was wanting to see if y'all could help with a can of formula. I have a 2-month-old and she ran out of formula last night, so she's been going all night and all day without anything to eat.
We unfortunately cannot help with that, sorry.
Y'all don't help with baby formula or like anything?
Not that I know of, no, sorry.
Now, there was one call that she did that was not a Christian church. It was a mosque. And this is what happened.
Islamic Center of Charlotte, over the beat.
Hi, yes. I was trying to call. I have a 2-month-old baby, and I ran out of formula last night, and I was wanting to see if there's any way you all could help with a can of baby formula.
We can, ma'am. Where do you live? You live in Charlotte?
Yes, I'm like 10 minutes from you all.
Okay. And what kind of formula do you need?
It's the Good Start.
Yeah, that's fine, ma'am. You come over here. We'll help you.
Some churches have since responded, and they're not happy. They've slammed her experiment as an underhand trick.
Person who goes around calling churches and putting the voice of a baby crying in the background. And I say, really the person is low. So, like I teach these men over here, folk want to apologize. I don't apologize to the devil. Sometimes Christians get so weak, you forgot we're supposed to rebuke evil.
As a pastor, and I talk a lot about Muslim zakat. It's one of the 5 pillars of Islam, where Muslim communities and Muslims are obligated to provide charity to the community. Churches, they are not obligated. We hope that they're going to be able to be philanthropic.
YouTube TV is offering subscribers a $20 credit. That's after Disney-owned channels vanished from the platform in a messy contract dispute. The blackout began on October 30th when talks between Google, which owns YouTube TV, and Disney broke down. That means no ESPN, no ABC, no National Geographic, and many more. Millions of frustrated viewers are caught in the middle. YouTube TV says Disney demanded costly terms that would drive up prices and limit choices for users. Disney says it's asking for a fair price for its programming. And as the standoff drags on, here's how it all started and what it means for your screen time.
The reason why you can't watch your Disney channels on YouTube TV is that there is a difference of opinion. What many of you may not know is that Hulu is a competitor of YouTube TV. Hulu is owned by Disney. It would be in Hulu's best interest to have YouTube live TV go away. That would be more people for Hulu. Disney was going to charge YouTube TV an amount of money to get its channels, an amount of money that would cause YouTube TV to increase its prices, not just to people who like watching Disney, but to every one of their subscribers. Tell me if what I'm saying reminds you of anything where there would have to be people paying for content that they don't actually want. Is that not reminding you of what cable TV is and what led to all of the cord cutting and the never corded? The fight that is happening right now between YouTube TV and Disney is all about coming back around to the cable model. YouTube TV doesn't want to do it. Disney wants it to happen.
Disney's blackout with YouTube TV is already biting. Morgan Stanley estimates the Mouse House is losing about $30 million a week, and it comes on the top of a bruising year. After ABC briefly pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live in late September, calls to boycott Disney spiked, and cancellations surged across Disney+, Hulu, and ESPN. US President Donald Trump says he has an obligation to sue the BBC, accusing the network of butchering his words in a Panorama documentary. He claims the edited version of his January 6, 2021 speech defrauded viewers, and he wants $1 billion in damages unless the BBC retracts, apologizes, and compensates him.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
The scandal has already cost the BBC its Director General Tim Davie and Head of News Deborah Turns. They both resigned on Monday. Since returning to the White House, Trump's been on a legal warpath with the media over their coverage of him. He settled with both CBS and ABC News after agreeing large payouts and has sought to take legal action against the New York Times. And it's not just his feud with the media that's keeping the president in the headlines. Trump's flashy gold smartphone is still nowhere to be seen. The T1 Mobile was supposed to come out in September, but months later, customers are still waiting. Trump Mobile, led by the president's children, promised it would shake up the market and offer a cheaper alternative. But so far, the company has gone silent and the phone's shipping deadlines have passed.
Back in June, Trump Mobile announced the flashy T1 phone priced at $499 and touted as made in the USA. Now it's November and the phone is still missing, with key details quietly disappearing from the website. Some reports suggest they might instead sell refurbished Apple and Samsung devices, leading many to label it as 2025's biggest tech mirage. So would you still drop $100 to pre-order a phone that never arrived?
The most miserable person on earth has to save the world from happiness. Well, that's the wild idea behind Pluribus, a new series from the creator of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. The first 2 episodes just dropped and the internet is already obsessed.
Selfish activism is becoming the new default for American culture. So happy to see a show not just critique it, but highlight how ineffective it is.
I need the next episode now. I can't wait another week for the next episode. Oh my god. It's insane. It's great. It's that pilot, that second episode, this is something special. He's done it again.
I want to make it clear, this is not a review of Pluribus, because I don't want to take that away from you. Because going into this, knowing as little as possible is the best way to experience what this is. I really need you to skip every review of this. Plot details have been kept under wraps for a good reason. And you'll see what I mean when you start watching this. Because when I finished that first episode, I had the lost premiere feelings. That's the best way I can describe it. This man is about to give us a generational run of some excellent television about human condition.
3 weeks after the Louvre heist, one mystery has finally been solved. And it's not about the missing crown jewels. It's about the Fedora man. The sharply dressed stranger accidentally walked into the world's most viral crime photo. He has finally revealed himself, and turns out he's not a detective, an insider, or an AI creation.
So you've all seen the photo. It went viral on TikTok, like 5 million views, and it actually ended up in the New York Times. But basically, this photo was taken to document a crime scene. You've got these policemen sitting on this car, basically telling everybody, hey, the Louvre is closed. And it just so happened that this young man in a full 3-piece ensemble with a fedora hat is walking through the frame. And of course the internet goes wild. They're like, who the is this guy? Is this Sherlock Holmes? Is he already on the case? Is he AI generated? Is he even real? And after 3 weeks of this sitting on this bad boy piece of information, he's finally come forward and said, hey, that's me. He's literally a 15-year-old local boy. He's literally from the southwest of Paris, and he was just going with his family to the Louvre that day. And when he showed up, they were like, hey, it's closed. And he was like, what? Like, he said, I didn't even know there was a heist. And because he's obviously an icon, he decided to play along with the bit. His friend literally sent him the TikTok and was like, hey, bro, is this you? The TikTok has 6 million views. And so he knew about this, and he just decided to sit back and like see what happened, which is such a badass move to just like let the internet do what the internet is gonna do and turn him into this like mythological Holmesian figure that's on the case, when really he's just a 15-year-old local boy that wanted to go to the Louvre.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.